You are watching. Pause. We pause for a second or two. How do we keep life coherent when so much is changing? This is episode 217, Sleep Slump. For the last week, I guess about 7 to 10 days maybe, I have slept less hours than usually. Usually I get about maybe 8 or 9 hours every night. But lately I've been getting about maybe 5, 6 at most. So about 3 or 4 hours less than usual. And this is how it is sometimes. Sometimes we just have this, I don't know, restlessness or worry or so much going on inside that we wake up early, or we simply do not fall asleep. And what we usually do, and what we oftentimes in our day and age are being told to do, is to try to solve this situation, to try to find ways to get that precise amount of hours. We try to solve it like a problem. That, okay, now I'm sleeping 5 hours every night. Then we are teaching each other to see it as a problem and to find one or more solutions to make up for those hours we think we should have. But the thing is, when we define it as a problem, when we start looking for a solution, in a way, when we do that, in a way, we are moving away from, we are distancing ourselves from what is actually going on. So, in today's example, we are just using my sleep situation for the last week as an example. And if I would describe my 5 hours of sleep and waking up early, if I would describe that as a problem, then I would not be here talking with you about this. Instead, I would make myself lonely and try to solve this so-called problem on my own. I would distance myself from my real situation, what is actually going on. I would say it doesn't matter why I am sleeping 5 hours now instead of 8 or 9. What matters is that I must find a solution. I must get back those lost hours now. That's what we would say then. And in today's episode, we are questioning if that is really necessary or if that is really desirable. Today's episode is called Sleep Slump. And just to use as an example, that I have been having a sleep slump as of late. And our emotional situation that we're looking at today is our sleep situation. It's for all those times when something is changing or something is shifting in how we fall asleep or not fall asleep, how we sleep and how we dream, and how we wake up and how we feel or how we function as we have woken up. Our sleep situation is for all those nuances in how we go from awake and conscious to asleep and unconscious and back and forth between the two. Awake, asleep, asleep, awake. Conscious, unconscious, unconscious, conscious. That's our sleep situation. Everything that entails. And also today we are talking about our goal for our sleep situation. What our sleep situation is about, the sort of deeper logic to it. And that is sleep goal predictability. I don't know if you can see in the Polaroid, in the photo, but it is an image of the sun setting behind the horizon. And sleep, falling asleep and waking up, it's about our connection with these rhythms, these predictable rhythms. The sun always rises and sets, rises and sets. And how the sun behaves is completely predictable. It's maybe the ultimate or perfect direct experience we have of predictability. But we, as people, we are not as predictable as the sun. I do not fall asleep and wake up as predictably as the sun does. We are connected with the sun, but we are different. And our sleep goal predictability for us as people is about our sense of safety. So, and this is pretty basic stuff. It's so basic that we forget about it. When we feel safe, our sleep tends to be, more predictable in a sense. And when we feel unsafe, then our sleep goes wibbly wobbly. And sleep in a wide meaning. Sleep is so much. It's falling asleep, sleeping, dreaming, waking up, and becoming more awake. So it's so much. And what is important to have in mind when we are thinking about our sleep situation is that it would be unfair to ourselves. It would be unfair to our predicament if we would diminish our sleep to something simple. In ancient times, for example, people in ancient river cultures, they built these large temples dedicated to sleep and dreams. They just felt very strongly about sleep and dreams. They had so much to say about it, so much time they wanted to spend with our sleep and our dreams. And we have not changed since then. It is just as important now. It's just that we have torn down the temples for our sleep. We have torn down the riches, we have torn down the nuances, the craftsmanship, the attention. We no longer pay any mind to our sleep. We don't care. Not as people in general. We don't. And our sleep situation is one of our 5 emotional situations in our pause framework of emotional skills. And sleep is one very important part. It's very rich. It's a constant getting to know ourselves and getting to know how we sort of interact and how the dynamics goes between what happens during my day, how does it feel to go to sleep, how do I dream, how do I wake up, and what kind of day am I waking up to? And the coming and the going, the sun rising and the sun setting. And right now, the times are unpredictable. There is so much political disruption going on right now. So many alliances being renegotiated, being redefined, some bonds being cut, some new bonds being formed. Just a lot of unpredictability. Not predictability, but unpredictability. And in that light of all the unpredictability in our sort of context, it would be strange if we just slept on soundly, predictably. It would be strange. That would mean that we would be sort of cut off from what is going on, which we're not. We are part of it. We are sort of flowing with it. And when the world is unpredictable, we feel that unpredictability. And our sleep is one aspect of it. So, when we are having a sleep slump, the world is having a slump. The world is not rising and setting in a predictable way right now. It's not. So we pause for a second or two and simply acknowledge that we are part of it and we are affected by it. And it's tough. That's it for today. Thank you.